Hey there, everybody, and welcome to another entry in the Koholint Compendium.
No.
Welcome to another entry in the Hyrule Compendium, and we're post-release of Link's Awakening for the Nintendo Switch, and I guess we're just giving our early impressions of the game.
Yeah, we're both about 3 dungeons in.
I'm like in the midst of old Key Cavern there, so...
Okay. Yeah, I've beaten Key Cavern and have explored the world pretty extensively at this point.
Early on, I was like, you know, we've seen now kind of this part of the game already from like E3 and stuff, so I wasn't like expecting to be like super surprised by anything, but it still was, it was just a lot, you know, different to actually have the game and be playing it.
Right,
it's like,
yeah.
It was exciting.
I hadn't gotten a chance to play it, so like actually literally controlling Link and moving him around was fun. It was a lot of familiarity.
Oh,
especially the dungeons. They're, I think, almost identical.
Yeah.
So there's nothing new. I'm never stumped. Don't know what to do. That being said, there are a few changes in here. Little things like in the overworld, you can walk behind Bow Wow's house now. Before you have to walk in front of it.
Sure.
Little pathing. And let's talk about May Village, though, because I think the games are the big changes early on.
Yeah, I've actually spent a significant amount of time messing around with them.
The trendy game is hard.
It
can
is
be
hard.
Like the moving platforms later.
Yeah, well, there's some... Oh, I haven't gotten to that point yet.
Okay.
I've ignored the moving platforms at this point, but I had a hard time at first just getting, like, the Yoshi doll.
It feels like it's on ice a little bit. Like
Yeah.
you can't really control where you're going, and it moves really fast. I guess it does add to the difficulty. A little bit frustration.
It is, but I guess I kind of prefer it over, you know, where I am now with the original, where it's just line it up and hit it at the right time, you know.
Yeah.
This makes it does replicate that feeling of like, oh, is it gonna get it? Is it gonna get it? Oh, yeah. You know.
Have you gone back to the trendy game?
I have, yeah. So I've picked up a couple of items there.
I do like how every dungeon it adds new stuff.
Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've gotten heart pieces. I've gotten multiple heart pieces.
Yeah.
I've gotten multiple. Oh, I think I only have one seashell from there, but then there's like some oddball figurine. There's the Yoshi doll. There's like this chamber like block thing.
Okay.
So there's like a whole bunch of new items in there, and it continuously evolves.
So it gives you a reason to keep checking back in.
Yeah, it does.
Which is cool because also there's not a lot of like towns in Link's Awakening, so it's like kind of gives that one of the 2 towns that's there like some more life, you know, to it. And
similarly with the fishing game.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time with the fishing game, and I keep going back because I know there's new stuff later on. There's going to be more fish and bigger fish.
Yeah, I can't... There's some that I haven't... I don't know if I can catch them or not, or if I just... You know, I can't tell if I can catch them or not.
There's a bit of a learning curve to the controls that I don't think the game explains too much. You're supposed to just tap A, but then when he starts pulling, you let go.
Oh, it's tap A. I was holding A.
Yeah, it tells you to tap. But, but you can, even when they start moving, like when they start pulling, you keep tapping for a second, but then you have to let go. Because if you keep tapping, they'll escape.
Yeah.
So I've gotten it down where they'll never escape anymore.
Okay.
But
it's fun. It's a bit more involved. I was thinking back to a lot of Zelda fishing after we had our whole thing with Ocarina of Time, and then going back to the original Link's Awakening, where I was kind of like, you know what? This original one might be the best fishing, because it's just like a simple, fun little mini game.
Mm-hmm.
This, I feel like, this new version of it walks the line, I think, between just simple tapping, but also having a little bit more to it. And I really have had fun with it.
Yeah. I've spent, I don't know what's new. So, you know, after you catch a few fish, a few just start coming up from the side. I don't know if you noticed that. They like new ones just appear.
Okay.
And I was like, can I catch 5 of them fast enough to clear the whole level? Like, is that possible?
Okay.
I don't think it's possible.
Oh, okay, so they kind of just swim back in.
I get to the point where there's only one left, and I'm in the midst of capturing them, and the other ones show up. So I think it's on a timer.
Yeah. I didn't actually get that bottle that's there until later because I kept getting it knocked off.
Yeah.
And I didn't have enough rupees.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna keep farming 10 rupees and coming back. So come back after I beat a dungeon and got a bunch on hand.
That brings me the economy of this game is much improved.
Yeah, because there's a lot more to spend your money on for one.
It's really those 2 games, and then the shop has more items now.
Uh-huh.
In particular, it has that heart piece for 200 rupees that is just enticing you to purchase.
Yes, I do feel like the economy does feel improved, but I'm wondering if as we keep coming back to the game over time, if it's probably not going to be a thing.
Yeah.
But we're talking now here our first time experience. That's what it's really for,
There was a point in time where it's like, ooh, I can't afford both the shovel and this heart piece.
Yeah.
I really want the heart piece. Because I'm trying to get the maximum. I'm trying to maximize my character as I progress.
Yeah.
Because I'm working on the guide, and so it's I feel I need that heart piece, but
And it's also now you see, okay, I need the 980 for the bow that's there, but there's gonna be more stuff in the trendy game.
Right, but just knowing the game though. I know I don't need that bow for a while.
Yeah, and there's going to be a lot of rupees thrown at you later.
Right, and I've been doing a lot of grinding in the overworld, getting seashells and such, so I'm almost to a point where I can buy the bow anyway. Okay. I'm sure by the end of the game I'm going to be at 999. It might go to 4 digits. I don't even know if the rupees are maxed out at 999 or not. I do want to ask you what your thoughts are on the controls overall.
You know what? It's weird going to them after coming from the Game Boy game, because now I'm so much more used to it. I'm so good at it and you can just fly across every screen in that because they're so small. Now coming to this, I feel a bit underpowered because it doesn't feel like you can jump as far, move as fast. It takes a bit of getting used to, just because I've been playing that so much. I think if you're playing it for the first time, this is not going to be really an issue.
Right.
And once I did get used to it, I came to like it because I think it works well for this game and the world and stuff like that.
Yeah, I feel the game plays rather slow.
Yeah.
It does. And I found myself getting slightly annoyed when, there's grass because now I have to walk slower.
Oh.
Or there's a ladder it takes 2 seconds, but it's it's that annoying 2 seconds. It felt it felt a little slow, and I feel that I don't have full control when I use Rock's Feather in particular.
Yeah, that's why I was bringing that up and jumping across the screen and stuff.
Yeah, that was such a smooth weapon item in Link's Awakening for the Game Boy Color. And this one, I don't feel I'm not using it as much because it just feels awkward a little bit.
Okay.
And also, when you're in the side-scrolling segments, it's really awkward, I feel. And it kind of lags a little bit, and the frame rate drops, I feel, in those side-scrolling ones when you jump.
In general, the frame rate sometimes has some issues in this game, especially in the overworld. So that might have to do with it, too.
I do think the game plays very similar to A Link Between Worlds. But I actually feel like it's less polished than A Link Between Worlds, the gameplay. Just the fluidity of the way your character moves.
For one, you move in more 8 directions, it seems. Then it does feel like you're a bit nerfed or whatever. But like I said, I think that is because it is on such the small, especially in the dungeons, the small scale. I feel like it's almost scaled down.
Yeah.
Things do feel I don't feel as powerful or as fluid as Link in A Link Between Worlds, but it works for me because I do feel while I'm playing it, everything does feel tactile, it feels I saw someone say it looks like you could just reach in and pick the characters out of the game.
Yeah, because you have that familiarity from other Zelda games.
Yeah.
And it throws a curveball at you. I've been using the Pegasus Boots lately. And the Pegasus Boots feel a lot different than they did in A Link Between Worlds.
Right.
And I keep comparing it to A Link Between Worlds because they kind of look and feel very similar.
Yeah. Well, it's also a thing of you're looking at this room that you've looked at a million times, right? And you've run through it with the Pegasus Boots a million times. Me, like 10 times this year I've played through this stinking game. But now I'm trying to do it with the exact same button combination muscle memory that I've put in my mind. And that's not going to work, you know?
Right.
And it's funny, like random things that are messing me up, like the Hynix that's in Bottle Grotto just messed me up. I didn't.
Oh, yeah.
I was like on half a heart or whatever, but like normally I'm just like, you know, like certain things don't work in this game anymore. And so yeah, it's adding to that feeling of like, I'm like, is this clunky or what? You know?
Right.
But it's like that mixed with like the sound effects and everything that make everything like have this like weight to it.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it a lot.
I do feel the game is a bit more challenging than the original.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I haven't died, actually, but then again, I've got like 9 or 10 hearts, 11 hearts already.
If you didn't know where all this stuff was, you might have a harder time. Or if you're just new, I think you would die.
Like some enemies, like I had some trouble fighting the ball and chain trooper.
Oh, okay.
That guy almost killed me.
Well, it is a small space, yeah.
He just felt like he moved faster than you. Like, I don't know if you had any trouble with him.
I took a few hits. Oh, you know what? Actually, that is the only time I died. But
okay.
I had the medicine.
Okay.
So yeah, he
Good
did.
old Crazy Tracy.
Crazy Tracy, yeah. Yeah, I'm used to so many enemies hold the charge attack and just jump at them and spin attack while you're in the air. This is kind of hard. You can do that, but it's hard. You know, like there's those enemies in Key Cavern who, you know, they warp.
The Paradox, yeah.
Yeah, like
you can't kill them anymore, like in traditional fashion.
Yeah, I'm used to just charging it up, making them teleport, and then just jumping at them as they come out.
Yeah.
I kind of have had fun with it though, because now I'm like learning how to kill these enemies. You know, like that's what you do normally in a Zelda game. You know,
I feel you need bombs. I think to kill them. I don't think you can. Maybe if you had the perfect timing.
Actually, I did at some point, and I don't know. I tried to replicate it. I got a hit on one of them with my sword, but I tried again, and I couldn't do it. So I was like, bombs.
I hit one, but then now he's further away.
That's I think. Yeah.
So like if you don't have bombs, you're gonna, because if you go in that room, then you need to kill them because you need the key to progress it, you know, elsewhere.
Yeah, you know, some enemies I'm just used to hitting with my sword, like the sword moblins or whatever. Now it's like I'm using my shield. I like it. It's changing it up. It's making the shield more useful. For some of those guys early on too, I was finding that if I threw magic powder on them, it was killing them right away instead of my sword, which took 2 hits for them. And I have found myself more liberally I'm just like throwing magic powder on guys now.
That's great.
And it feels good. Like I said, the sound effects, like and they go like and they like burst into flames basically. It's like it's kind of cool because I'm using my shield, I'm using the magic powder. Yeah. So it's a good feeling.
I do the updated control scheme has really clicked.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that you have your sword, shield, power bracelet, and Pegasus Boots all equipped to different items. None of those are equipable items. It's been great. You very, very rarely need to pause. I do feel like there's enough buttons on this thing. Like maybe they didn't need to make R and ZR the same button. Like you could have. I thought Rock's Feather was going to be one of the.
Rock's Feather could have been one, yeah.
One of the permanently assigned buttons.
But it's enough where I'm not pausing too much. But I do agree. Yeah, you could have some more.
Like you could have made like R to pick stuff up or something, and then ZR to dash.
Right.
And it would have felt totally natural. I felt.
Yeah.
You know, and made Rock's Feather, and because like later on, like you don't need to have the shovel equipped all the time. You don't need magic powder equipped all the time. No. You don't. But you want Rock's Feather.
Rock's Feather pretty much all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me right now, it's Rock's Feather and then whatever else I need.
Right.
That's basically what I have.
Yeah. Yeah. Although the inventory of this game is a bit limited now that we have all these other items equipped. Yeah. There's only like 6 items. So. Yeah. And you don't need the shovel or bombs all the time. So
no, you know, speaking of new things, have you tried out the Dampe chamber dungeon mode?
Yeah, I've played it pretty extensively for what I could at this point. So I've done 5 of his missions.
Okay, I've only done 2.
Okay, more open after Key Cavern.
Key Cavern, right?
Yeah, and so I've gotten some rewards. I found out that there's an error in the game. You can create a chamber dungeon that it says it's okay, but it's not. So if you try to make a chamber, it'll tell, oh, you can't do this because there are more locked doors than keys. It'll say that. Or there's more locked doors early on. You need more treasure chests near the entrance. It'll tell you stuff like this. I made one. It said it was okay, but it was one of those, you know, where the dungeon map is in Key Cavern?
Yeah.
I had that room right before the boss, or like 2 rooms before it. So it had the nightmare key in it.
Okay.
So you had to lower the blocks. But there was no crystal switch in the whole dungeon.
Oh.
And it didn't trigger. It did not recognize that.
Wow.
And
okay.
So I had to go back, re-edit the dungeon to get rid of that room.
Come on, guys.
So
you caught him.
Yeah. I'm sure that happened to somebody else at some point. But it's okay. I feel...
Yeah. I read a lot.
More.
I did read a lot about people were disappointed by it. I was not expecting it to be this full-blown Zelda maker. And it's not too far off from what I expected, but you know, then actually in practice I'm like, okay, yeah, this isn't that much to get excited about.
I don't know what else there is, so I'm going to refrain from
we're kind of early on.
I don't know if there's different modes, if there's
I am having fun with it. Like it's like I said, it's just okay, but there's something just like peaceful about like making the puzzle, you know.
Yeah. I feel like it's a time sink. Like you start doing, well, some of the later, like the next like batch of them, like I felt I'm like, oh, let me go mess with these, and like 35 minutes later I've created 2 levels and played 2 levels, and one messed up, so I had to replay. But I was like, that's longer than any dungeon in the whole game.
Yeah,
that I spent on this, and so yeah, that's like probably been the bulkiest portion of my playthrough, other than just randomly exploring. It
probably
the
will
overworld.
Continue to be too.
Well, I'm in a mode right now where it's like after every dungeon, I'm gonna go visit Dompe to see what else he's got.
Check out the trendy game.
Yeah, I check the trendy game, I check the fishing, and I check the shop. It's like the
I love that. I'm gonna start doing that too,
just to see what else they got.
The one other thing I wanted to talk about briefly was the soundtrack. It's cool to hear these songs, and you know, a lot of them, they've done a good job of like capturing the spirit of these, and for some elevating like some of the songs from the Game Boy, because it was kind of limited.
Yeah.
But there's a couple small changes that I thought were really unique, and I don't know if you notice this as much, but like when the owl comes and talks to you, it plays that same little dream-like tune, but they kind of added this part underneath it that's like ominous and creepy. Have you noticed this?
I haven't, no.
So it's got the similar higher, like the do 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 do, that's like dreamlike, but then there's like these low horn parts that are just kind of like kind of sound like a nightmare creeping in, because a lot of this game is the plot and the story is very straightforward, but it's just about the tone it sets. And so this just adds, there's something mysterious about it, and it's really creepy.
Yeah.
And I really like that. One other thing I really liked about what they've changed, because they stay true to the sound a lot, except, you know, they add
they really do, actually. The songs sound the same, but just like modern. In
Mabe Village, they added another little melodic part underneath, but it still feels the same. You know, it doesn't feel like, I can't believe they changed this, you know what I mean? It's like they added to it. But it's happened a lot with like the boss and in the dungeons and stuff I've noticed where there's, you know, they have like the orchestrated stuff in there too, but there's some like more like buried in there like chiptune music sound that really harkens back to the Game Boy. So I just love that vibe, that it's like still capturing kind of the old school vibe in there a little bit.
I'm a little further than you as well, but when you get to Animal Village, I don't know if you heard that theme.
I have not heard that yet.
So it's got a little bit of that old school.
Oh, okay, look. Awesome.
It's not as modern as it's cool.
That's awesome.
I want to ask you this though.
Okay.
Because this was something that happened in the original Link's Awakening that has not changed for me.
Okay.
When you see a guardian acorn, do you pick it up?
Oh, well, I usually still go for the piece of power.
But the acorn, no.
The acorn, it doesn't bother me, I will say, but I just like, I don't care, you know?
You know what? I think it's the music that still bothers me.
That is kind of a bummer when it's like, I'd like to be, I actually walked into Face Shrine with the piece of power. I'm like, well, I want to hear...
Face Shrine?
Or, sorry, Key Cavern.
Okay.
I walked into Key Cavern with the acorn, and now they keep it going when you go inside places.
Get rid of this. I don't want...
I want to hear the music. I want to hear what it sounded like.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't bother me as much, though.
Oh, God, I got a piece of power. I don't want it. I don't need it. Maybe if it was hero mode, you know.
There is a hero mode, by the way.
I was excited to see that. Yeah.
I haven't played that yet, but
no, that'll be a second.
I'm glad actually, because I would have died a million times.
Okay.
Just like that Hynix alone would have killed me like 4 times. There are some enemies where I haven't figured it out yet. So.
A few other things with the music. There was one other thing that annoyed me. After beating Tail Cave, and you return to Mabe Village, and then they're like, "Oh, Bow Wow has been dognapped." That theme plays throughout until you go get Bow Wow. Like, anytime you're in Mabe Village, there's no Mabe Village theme anymore.
Oh, I see. That happens, I guess, whenever you're on that screen in Mabe Village. Like, if you go back to the boys.
Like, you can be by the shop.
Yeah.
And like, leave and come back, and it's still that.
I get that.
I'm like, all right, I have to do this. I can't stand this anymore.
Okay. Dang, that kind of sucks. I went straight to Bow Wow.
Okay.
Because I was like, I gotta save the poor guy.
Okay. I wanted to, I had Rock's Feather, and I wanted to explore the world.
Yeah.
That area, because you can jump over and go to the cemetery and everything.
Yeah.
And I wanted to go to that area before doing the main story side.
So, I mean, yeah, we're early on, but what are you enjoying it? Where are you at?
It's a Zelda game.
It's Zelda.
It's on the 8 to 10 scale.
Not only is it Zelda, but it's like an amazing Zelda game already, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like they would have had to really screw it up to make it not good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm liking it though.
I think it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's okay. I'm not going to give it rave reviews though. I don't think the controls are a little clunky. I haven't adapted to it yet.
Okay.
And there's maybe not quite enough that's new.
Okay.
Quite yet.
Yeah.
So some people I could feel like
this is a whole new world.
For some people, yeah. For others, it's the same game.
Yeah.
It's depending on your interpretation.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder, like, I'm not, like, you know, this is not quite the full review yet, but is this a $60 game? That was a question going in.
That's a whole video topic right there, because I don't know how. Yeah, there's a lot to discuss in regards to that.
I will say this one last thing about this. I don't think it has superseded Original Link's Awakening.
Okay.
I really feel Original Link's Awakening will be a playable game still.
Okay.
Going forward, I don't think this is a case like Wind Waker or something where it's like it's replaced the old one.
There's still charm to that original art style in Link's Awakening. Like I don't think you look at that and it's like this is awful to look at. Like I like how the original game looks still. Maybe that's just me, but part of me hopes that after you beat this, it's like here's the classic mode.
Oh.
And they like if they could take out the text issues in the original game, it's like I would be with you where it's like this could stand toe to toe, you know what I mean? Like this extra stuff is fun. I love it. I'm liking it because it's a new experience, but I still love the original game. So
yeah.
All right, so yeah, that's our early thoughts. Leave a comment like what do you want us to talk about for this game, because we're gonna be going through it and we're gonna have our own thoughts for sure. But yeah, leave us a comment. Let us know what you've thought of it if you picked it up. Give us a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe, join our Discord, all that good stuff. And thanks for watching.